Creative Magic Club. What's up? This is Sarah Mack and welcome to Creative Magic Club. Together, we'll discover inspirational stories of creative entrepreneurs living out their dreams, doing the work they are most passionate about, and building wealth in magical and fun ways. While building a six-figure income as a writer and coach, helping other women to launch their dream businesses, I've connected with so many incredible people and seen it proven again and again that you can thrive financially doing whatever it is you are passionate about. I'm here to share life-changing strategies for mindset, making money, and reaching more people with your work in a business and life filled with creativity, freedom, and fun. Hello, your host, Sarah Mack here, and I just finished recording my Money Mindset Detox Masterclass, which I'm super thrilled to be sharing, and there was a message that I knew I had to share on the podcast. So this is something that I don't think is talked about enough and has been truly and utterly life-changing for me and also for my clients, and I think it's a really important message that I know for sure will make you more money. So I'm going to share some journaling prompts and a little piece of the process that I share in my masterclass with you that you can start to implement immediately to immediately start creating more money. Not just more money, but money in really fun and aligned ways, doing your soul work and creating freedom and having fun in your life. So the analogy that I find so helpful when it comes to money mindset work is it's kind of like brushing your teeth, right? Like you don't want to have stinky breath, so you clean your teeth twice a day, maybe 3 times a day if you're like a teeth brushing overachiever. And you know, it's one of those things, and I was thinking about it, like imagine when toothbrushing was first discovered. I don't know when this happened, but when people were like, hey, if we like clean our mouths consistently, then our teeth don't fall out, we don't have stinky breath, and we don't have to go to the dentist. Like imagine that revolution in humankind. I'm sure there were a ton of people who were like, oh, that seems like too much work. Or like, this is really disruptive to, you know, my lifestyle and my daily routine and all of the other really important things that I have to do. But then I'm sure there was a wave of people who started brushing their teeth who were like, hey, look at my amazing smile, smell my delicious breath. And all of the people with like moldy teeth were probably just like, okay, so like you just do this twice a day and you don't have your teeth falling out. And the people with nice teeth were like, yeah, like in the beginning, it was kind of a pain in the ass and, you know, didn't enjoy it that much. But now I don't have to go to the dentist, if dentists were even a thing back in this time in human history that I'm like completely fictionalizing in this moment. And yeah, and I'm sure the people with like stinky rotten teeth were like, okay, maybe I can get on board with that. Like maybe I'm willing to brush my teeth a couple times a day for 5 minutes if it means that my mouth doesn't smell like arse all day long. And then it just became a cultural norm, right? Like we teach our children to brush their teeth. We just do it, whether we enjoy it or not. We're consistent with it. If we're not consistent with it for a few days, we're like, ugh, I need to brush my teeth, and we'll like buy a toothbrush if we're like traveling and we don't have one, or we don't have it for a couple of days and we get home and we give them a really good clean and we get back on track with that habit. Like it's an ingrained habit. Like if you're a toothbrusher and you were given that habit by your parents and you consistently follow through on it, you probably don't think about it too much. Even though it does consistently take time out of your day, it's consistently producing a result that you're very happy with, and you're happy to maintain that level of effort for the, you know, the results that are satisfying for you and for the pain that you get to avoid when you don't commit to that habit. So I take this view with money mindset work. You know, it's really one of those things where once I developed a process and a habit around doing money mindset work daily, you know, I doubled my income 3 years in a row, got to 6 figures, started working way less, like instantly started reaping the rewards of doing this work and shifting my mindset around money And then there was a period where I got complacent and I was like, oh, I've made it. I'm like good now. And then things started to get wobbly and, like my relationship with money got a little bit wobbly. And then I knew I had to lean back in and reestablish that habit to get back on track with that stability and abundance and fun that I was capable of creating. So it's the same thing with toothbrushing, right? Like if you don't want stinky breath, clean your teeth every day. If you want to consistently have a good relationship with money and for it to not be causing you stress and anxiety and pain, and you want to have enjoyable, fresh breath results in your relationship with money, do the money mindset work every goddamn day. It's really a simple solution and it can literally take 5 to 10 minutes out of your time. So the invitation of this podcast today is to really do something good for yourself, right? Like I love seeing money mindset work as like a health protocol. Like if something's out of balance, we ask for support and tools and processes to bring our health back into balance. If we have a broken leg, then we, get the treatments, we get surgery and some pins or a cast to hold it, and we stay with that healing process, even though it can be really uncomfortable, until we can walk again. So if you're experiencing any imbalances or strain or anxiety or stress or overworking or under-earning or however it is that your relationship with money is not fulfilling as not as fulfilling as it has the potential to be, money mindset work is the tool and the process that will allow you to find alignment and to create a desirable result in your money and in your financial life. So the key message of this is that consistency is important. You can't just do it once and then set it and forget it, right? Because, and here's why. Because the thoughts that we think are rooted in emotional patterns and programming of safety and security and survival. And those are determining our results over and over and over again. We inherited these programs of these emotional patterns of survival from our parents. They inherited them from our grandparents. So we're running on survival programs that kept our parents and our grandparents safe in the world that they lived in, however many decades ago that was, right? We don't live in the same world. It's very, very, very different. And the possibilities and the potential and the opportunities that are available to us are drastically different than what was available to our parents and our grandparents. And, yes, there are some things that are still useful, and we inherit so much wisdom from them that we're benefiting from, and that we can be so grateful to them for every single day of all of the lessons that they integrated and the emotional patterns that they developed and the thought processes that they repeated internally over and over and over again, and then repeated to their children over and over and over again. And then, these perpetual systems that are set up to enable for us to survive. So when we're looking at thriving, when we're looking at creating financial realities and lifestyles and just, ways of expressing ourselves in the world that was never available or achievable for previous generations, the number one thing that's required is that we think differently and that we rewrite those emotional patterns that are dictating our behavior, that are producing our results. Which is why we have to clean our teeth every day, right? We have to rewire these thoughts every day. 90% of our thoughts are regurgitated from the day before and the day before and the day before, and from our parents and from our grandparents. So we're still thinking thoughts from prior generations, and they're not useful to us in our relationship with money. And so identifying that, doing the cleanup around that, it's kind of a lot of work, right? It sounds like a lot of work. And we don't have to do it, right? We can continue to live out the patterns, the survival patterns, the ways of being in the world, seeing, understanding our identities and our potential and what's possible for us. We can continue to play out what our parents have lived out and what our grandparents have lived out. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want something different, if you want expansion and evolution and abundance and freedom, unlike anything any of your ancestors have ever experienced before, then this work is required. It's required to identify the emotional patterns and the thought patterns that are in conflict with that reality that you desire to experience, and that you do the undoing work. the detoxification work and the reprocessing and reprogramming work to start to focus and behave and act in a new way that's going to create new results that's never before been created in your family lineage. Before we get back to the episode, I have something exciting to tell you about. There were a couple of key things that changed everything in my life as an entrepreneur that allowed me to bring in 6 figures while working half as many hours and having more fun than ever before in my business. It was money mindset work around how I was doing business, combined with getting good at sharing strategic sales content online. I know you know that this is your year to start hitting your 10K month income goal and living the life of creative freedom and fulfillment you have been dreaming about. You're ready to be consistently attracting total dream soulmate clients through the creative content you're sharing on social media, and you want to be reaching more people, charging higher rates, and working much less. So I'm very excited to invite you to join me in Freedom Club, my mastermind, where you'll receive tailored high-level support to master the skills that will create your dream life and 6-figure dream business starting now. With focused weekly trainings and coaching calls to find the clarity on your content that's going to make you the most money, to design a simple, fun launch strategy you'll enjoy following through on, plus daily support and feedback from me in the Voxer chat, you'll find that sweet spot in your business where you're the most confident in your work, having the most fun, and making the most money. Go to withsarahmac.com/freedom club to apply now. Now let's get back to the episode. It's kind of like being boringly consistent so that you can experience incredible results, like brushing your teeth. Isn't it incredible? Maybe we take it for granted that we don't have stinky breath every day and that we don't have to go to the dentist and have all of our teeth pulled out by the time that we're 30. Just like going to the gym or just working out or exercising on a consistent basis. Like, isn't it amazing that we get to live in our bodies until we're like 70, 80, 90 years old, and the potential to have a thriving health and to have mobility and to have strength that will support us to continue to live our lives and to have the energy to create, to birth new projects, to, be productive, to build businesses, to connect with people all over the world, to make an impact on others' lives, to raise a family, to connect with loved ones. Isn't it amazing that we can generate this health and this vitality and this energy to create in the world that if we didn't take care of our health wouldn't be available to us? So being consistent with your money mindset is like being consistent with your dental care. It's like being consistent with your physical health and well-being, and being boringly consistent, like just doing the work, maybe even doing the same thing over and over and over again, day after day after day, continuing to clean, continuing to challenge and rewrite and rework those patterns that we have inherited and shape them into new ones to start to see new results, new patterns, new habits, new way of thinking, and new magical, wonderful, abundant lives emerging as a result of that. That if we weren't doing that, we'd have stinky breath, we'd have terrible health conditions, disease, discomfort, and loads of financial stress. So I really hope that these analogies and these comparisons are landing for you. And, it's been such an empowering tool for me to know that, okay, I was terrible with money. I didn't have any skills. I didn't have any tools. I didn't have any types of supportive habits. I didn't have any education. I sucked with money. That's why my relationship brought me so much stress. And my relationship with money, because I was avoidant and I wasn't dealing with it and I didn't have healthy habits around it and I wasn't paying attention to it. And that's what got me from being the girl who would just cross her fingers and hope when I handed over my card to pay for my weekly groceries to the person who has a 6-figure business and so much fun and freedom and is living her dream life exactly as she intended and is happy and feels secure and grounded and safe and supported in her relationship with money. And this is the work that got me here and that continues to create more ease and abundance and fun as I continue to stay consistent with it. And I haven't always been consistent. There was a time when I stopped being consistent and my results changed and I was reminded this is just a part of my behavior now, if this is the type of level of standard, of lifestyle, of result, and, you know, just embodiment of who I desire to be in my life at this point, these are the habits that support that, and they get to be non-negotiable. So I'm going to share 3 really simple, really freaking powerful journal prompts that you can start to implement in just 5 to 10 minutes a day to consistently be shifting and expanding and rewriting your financial reality. Number 1, what is my income goal this month? If you don't know what you're headed towards, if you don't know what your goal and your target is, good luck hitting it. So it doesn't matter what that number is, but just know your number, connect with it. And this can bring up so freaking much for people. And this is exactly the work that's going to shift whatever resistance, whatever emotional patterns are there that are really in resistance to you receiving and creating the money that you desire. So number 1, just write it down. Write down your income goal this month. Number 2, just check in with your brain. Why do you believe that it is not possible for you right now? Because all the while we're talking about potentials in the future, we're not dealing with the real shit that's going on today. So ask yourself, why do you not believe it's possible right now, this month? And that's going to bring up all the stories that you've been holding on to, either unconsciously or consciously, that are dictating your behaviors and your actions that are continuing to produce a certain result. So getting them out there, being objective, doing that cleaning, right? Like getting your floss out, pulling the pieces of crap out from in between your teeth, looking at them, washing them away, and, you know, acknowledging that they're there. Number 1, before we can change something or wash it away, we have to acknowledge that it's there, right? And then number 3, you get to ask yourself, what do I wish was true for me now? So you literally get to take each of the statements from journal prompt number 2, look at all of the limiting beliefs, all of the maybe like legit excuses or like can seem like facts as to why this is not possible for you. This is your programming. This is a lot of it's inherited, picked up from our culture, or just internalized belief systems from things that have happened to you throughout your life in relationship to money, or just in relationship to the world and other humans in general. So you get to flip the script on these, hit the magic button for each one of these limiting stories, like, like I'm not good enough. I'm not like far along enough to be successful, like financially successful in my industry, or, you know, whatever like specific story came up for you. I don't have a high enough Instagram following, right? Whatever little stories are just going on in the back of your mind day after day after day as real reasons why you can't hit your income goal, take each one of those and flip the script on them. What do you desire to be true? And to refocus and like program into your GPS in your mind, where do we want to be focused? If I could choose any reality related to these stories, which stories do I really wish were true for me? And write out those stories. So, you know, as an example, like I'm not good enough yet. Like, what if I just decided I'm good enough at what I do to hit my income goal? Or what if I'm open to the possibility that I might actually be good enough at what I do to hit my income goal, right? To just really tune into stories of possibility, stories of potential, and really claiming the truth that what it is that you desire is possible now. What are the stories that support that vision? And then writing them out. So this is super powerful. I do this every day. It continues to inspire ideas and different action that allows me to hit my goals over and over and over again, from doubling my income 3 years in a row to, you know, shifting the way that I work in my business, to having less calls on my calendar, to having more freedom, to focusing more on delivering courses and programs that I'm the most excited to be teaching, and ditching the stuff that is less fun for me. Never working with a client who's not a dream client. That has been my reality. And making the choices and cultivating the habits that produce those results over and over and over and over again in the ways that feel aligned and fun for me. This is the process that has unlocked all of that insight, all of that magic, and all of those results for me. So this is a snippet of my full 12-step process I share in the Money Mindset Detox Masterclass, where I share the full process of reprogramming the emotional patterns that have been really upholding and perpetuating the limiting beliefs and the unsatisfying realities in your financial life. As well as sharing like what to do when resistance comes up, and really committing to the mindset work. So if you know that this is something that you are ready to dive into and to really create a transformation in your relationship with money, this is the resource for you. I'm so excited that I've just made this available, and it will be up on my website for purchase. So I also have a money mindset program, which isn't currently open, called Create Money the Fun Way. Feel free to message me or sign up to get on the wait list for that. And I'm definitely going to be sharing more money mindset content for you on the podcast. So stay tuned, subscribe, please share this with anybody that you know will benefit. And I would love to hear from you. Feel free to reach out to me, share anything that came up for you, share any wins, breakthroughs, share your declarations and commitment to doing your money mindset work every day. Tag me and share your stories on Instagram of you doing your money mindset so I can cheer you on. And I so appreciate you being here. I'm sending you all the ever expanding abundance and wealth and happiness and freedom in your life and your financial reality. And I will see you next week. Bye. For more inspirational content, head over to my website withsarahmac.com, and please support the show by liking, commenting, and subscribing.